Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 9.2 is almost here. The release date is set at February 22nd, which gives us just over a week left to wait. I know a lot of players are incredibly excited to finally get their hands on some new World of Warcraft content, and oh boy is this patch chock full of content. Let's go over all of the major features coming in patch 9.2 and everything you're going to be able to do in the last major patch of the Shadowlands expansion. Before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. One of the largest and most exciting features coming in patch 9.2 is the return of tier set gear and tier set bonuses. Every single class will be able to collect up to 5 pieces of these new sets. They have unique transmogs that are themed after the first ones and the general progenitor aesthetic going on with the new patch. Very futuristic with lots of whites and golds and shiny bits and bobs everywhere, but what really makes this gear fun and interesting are the set bonuses. Each class has a new 2 set and 4 set bonus that will activate when you equip enough pieces of your set. These set bonuses can significantly change the way you play and provide you with a massive boost to your player's power level. There are a handful of ways to start collecting your tier gear. The first source is going to be the new raid, the Sepulchre of the First Ones. There are 5 bosses in the raid that can drop tier gear, so when you kill those bosses you have a chance to get a piece of tier gear for your class. They are some of the later bosses for the most part, so you'll need to progress through the raid quite far before you start seeing tier gear, but that is going to be the most reliable source of tier gear overall. You can also get tier gear from your weekly vault from any reward slot here. That means that filling up the dungeon slots and the PvP slots will not only give you extra chances of tier gear as a raider, but it also gives players who do not raid a chance to get their hands on tier gear as well. If you only do dungeons and you fill up the weekly vault dungeon road, there's a good chance you're going to see some tier gear there once in a while. It's the same thing for PvP players, so you technically don't have to raid to get this tier gear, which means it's open to everyone no matter how you play the game. Later on down the line, a new system is going to become available called the Creation Catalyst. This system allows you to turn Mythic plus Dungeon gear, Conquest PvP gear, or Raid gear into tier set items with a new currency, Cosmic Flux. This system will allow anyone who takes part in those types of content to create or craft their own tier gear, so when this system becomes available, absolutely everyone can get their full set of tier gear without too much effort, providing you play at least one of those content types that rewards gear you can upgrade. We haven't had tier sets in a very long time at this point, so I'm excited to see them return, and I'm looking forward to the big power spike that comes with completing your 4 set bonus. I briefly mentioned it already, but there is a new raid coming in 9.2, the Sepulchre of the First Ones. The raid has 11 bosses total, with the last boss being the Jailer, so we finally get to take the fight directly to the big bad of this expansion and see how everything ends. There's a lot riding on the end of the Shadowlands story, and it's going to be the very end of a pretty wild ride, but I'm interested to see where we go next, what happens to the Jailer, and how they wrap up all of the loose ends. From the raid testing that I've done, the 9.2 raid looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There are some quirky and unique bosses, very important lore moments to enjoy, and the last 3 bosses of the raid were not tested publicly, so no one has any idea what they look like or how they're going to play out. Everyone is going in blind for those bosses specifically, which we haven't done in a long time. It's incredibly exciting as someone who loves to raid in World of Warcraft, and I can't wait to jump in. New raids are always one of the best parts of a new patch because the dev team still does raid encounters better than, well, pretty much any other game out there. Having some big players in this raid just makes it all the more exciting. We're also going to get a huge new zone in 9.2, Zereth Mortis, the playground of the First Ones. There's a lot going on in this zone and a lot of subsystems to take part in. There's a new storyline campaign that will take you through how we get here, why we're here, what's going on, what we can do to help, and where this could potentially lead us in the future. We have a jailer to take down and some folks to try and save along the way. Then there's the Cipher of the First One system. A lot of this zone uses a language that we can't understand, at least at first. So to break the cipher, we have to collect a new currency and unlock talents and traits in this new system. All of these unlocks relate to the zone, so there isn't any player power here, but you can unlock new quests and storylines, new questing hubs and NPCs to interact with, new powers and features in the zone, and you can power up your friendly little Poco Pock pet to have new abilities and help you in a variety of other ways. You can also unlock the protoform synthesis forges here, which allow you to create and craft your own pets and mounts. You gather materials from all over the zone and smash them together in the forge to create whatever mount you want. It's going to give you a lot of control over what collectibles you want to go after and what you want to get first, but you do need to unlock them in the cipher system first. There are also multiple gearing up paths in the new zone. You can find new gear tokens that give everyone and anyone a chance to start the gear grind off at least somewhat decently. These will give you 226 item level gear without having to do any extra work whatsoever. Great for alts and players just returning to the game. Then there's also the Sand-Worn Relic gear. You can farm and grind for Sand-Worn Relics in the harder areas of the zone, and you can trade them in for item level 246 gear. A great option for players who don't take part in standard group content but still want some higher item level gear. And then there's also the Cypher equipment system. As you unlock more things in the Cypher of the first ones, your Cypher equipment level will increase. This equipment can be found throughout Zereth Mortis and will automatically upgrade as you progress through the equipment levels. So eventually, when you unlock everything in the Cypher, you'll be able to get high item level gear from Zereth Mortis that you can upgrade in a variety of ways with powerful bonus effects. There's also going to be a new faction to earn reputation with, the Enlightened Brokers. You can get conduit catch-up items, new crafting recipes, options for legendary crafting, there is a new legendary optional reagent, new glyphs to collect, new toys, pets and mounts, a new tabard, and an infinite augment rune. This reputation is going to be very important and very powerful, so it's probably something a lot of players will want to work towards. There's also a very strong focus on exploration in this zone, so there's plenty of rares to kill, treasures to hunt down, achievements to chase after, collectibles to hoard, and secrets to find. There's a lot going on in Zereth Mortis, so you need to keep your eyes peeled so you don't miss anything. Another huge feature coming in patch 9.2 is the ability to equip 2 legendary effects or gear pieces. The way in which this works is a little restrictive. You can't just equip any 2 legendary items you want. 1 legendary can be the ones that we've been using up until this point. Craft them, upgrade them, equip them, same deal as always, but the second legendary has to be a new legendary from the new 9.2 zone, Zereth Mortis. You will be rewarded with the Belt of Unity after you complete Chapter 7 of the new storyline campaign. That belt can be equipped alongside any other legendary that you've crafted, so that's your double legendary right there. This legendary belt will automatically have the effects of your chosen covenant legendary effect, which will change as you change covenants, which makes it very useful for anyone who swaps covenants often. Later on, you can purchase a memory that allows you to craft a legendary with the exact same effect that can be equipped as your second legendary, but you can craft it in any gear slot that you want. So if you don't want a belt legendary at all, you will have to go get the memory and recraft your second legendary. To get the memory for that, you need Revered Reputation with the Enlightened Broker faction, so it's going to be a bit of a rep grind to get that extra functionality. Personally, I would have preferred if the double legendary mechanic let us just use any 2 legendary effects we wanted. That would be way more interesting and have the potential for way more fun, but I guess the dev team didn't want to do the massive balancing act that would require. That's not the only update to legendaries. We will also be able to upgrade all legendary gear to a new maximum rank of 7. To upgrade a legendary to rank 7, you will need a new rank 7 base item for your gear slot of choice. You can craft a rank 7 item by crafting the rank 4 recipe and adding the new optional reagent Vestige of the Eternal. To craft that optional reagent, you're going to need some new legendary crafting items from the new zone. Don't worry, they're actually not too rare when all is said and done, but you will also need to reach Honoured with the Enlightened Broker faction in the new zone. That will allow you to buy or learn the recipe to craft the Vestige of the Eternal, so without that rep level, you won't be able to craft your own rank 7 base items. You can still buy or sell these base items on the auction house, so you don't have to craft it yourself if you don't want to. In addition to the rank 7 item, you will also need a new currency, Cosmic Flux. You need 2,000 Cosmic Flux to upgrade a legendary to rank 7, and this currency can be earned from a wide variety of gameplay activities, including daily and weekly quests, rare hunting, treasure hunting, running Mythic Plus dungeons, wins in PvP content, killing raid bosses, and running Torghast. So lots of options to upgrade all of your shiny legendary gear. Patch 9.2 will also introduce Shadowlands Season 3, so we're moving into the new season of Mythic Plus Keystone Dungeons. That means ratings will start at 0 again, and we can climb the ratings ladder once more, and we will also see a new seasonal affix. This time the AFFIX will be called Encrypted. Throughout the dungeon you will find new Automa monsters in various packs as well as progenitor relics. These relics provide various bonuses to monsters until they are killed, and the relic that you kill first will result in a large bonus to your group as well. Right now the bonuses are increased movement speed, damage reduction and stealth, increased haste with a damage proc, or increased cooldown reduction rate and a large health and mana regen bonus. So it's going to be important to coordinate with your group to kill the correct relic to get the buff you want, but no matter which one you get, it's going to be a large increase to your overall power level for a short duration. I think it's going to be more fun than the Anima Power AFFIX that we had in Season 2, but we'll have to wait and see if it withstands the test of time. The only other really new thing for dungeons in 9.2 is the addition of the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon into the Mythic Plus Keystone pool. The dungeon has been split into 2, each wing with 4 bosses, and you can now push through Tazavesh with the same timers, affixes, and scaling rewards that come with the Mythic Plus system. There is a lot of interesting loot in Tazavesh, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of it becomes very valuable now that you can get higher item level drops from the dungeon and upgrade those drops with the Valor currency. With the new Shadowlands season comes a new PvP season as well. That means you'll be able to work on your Season 3 PvP rating and gear up in all new Conquest gear. Don't forget that due to the way in which tier gear works this time, you'll also be able to work towards your full 4 set bonuses just through PvPing. The Great Vault PvP rewards have a chance to give you tier gear, and the Creation Catalyst will allow you to create your own tier gear from Conquest gear, so this is the first time PvPers can get their tier sets without going into the new raid. There is also going to be a new arena added in 9.2, the Maldraxxus Colosseum. You get to throw down in the Pit of Champions to see who will come out on top. A second arena was initially planned to arrive with 9.2, the Enigma Arena, but it has been delayed until a later smaller patch. But that means that eventually we'll have 2 new arena maps to play around with until the end of Shadowlands. In addition to these changes, there's also a new brawl coming in 9.2, the Solo Queue Shuffle. This is kind of a testing grounds for a solo queue rated arena, which I know a lot of PvPers have been asking for a while. So if this goes well and receives some good feedback, solo queue rated arena might be something to look forward to in a future expansion. And then there are also some updates to TORGHAST. First up, another 4 layers have been added onto the top of every TORGHAST wing, so you can now go as high as a layer 16. These new layers will reward the new Cosmic Flux currency and have even more torment effects to, well, torment you as you try and work your way through each new layer. There should also be new 9.2 themed monsters to fight inside TORGHAST, but that's kind of it as far as TORGHAST changes go for the usual wings. But there is also a whole new game mode in TORGHAST called the Jailer's Gauntlet. This is completely separate from the new layers with different rewards and requirements. There are only 4 layers for right now, and each layer will reward something special. There's a pet, a toy, a title, and a mount to collect as you climb the gauntlet. Each layer also seems to reward you with a lot of Soul Ash, Soul Cinders, and Cosmic Flux, though these may only be one-time rewards instead of repeatable. I'll be honest though, they've been changing the rewards a lot recently, so the final version might be different yet again. This mode is very different because each floor of your run consists of just 1 room. You get a bunch of anima powers to start off with, and you fight off waves of monsters, rares, and bosses that spawn from the portals. As you go higher up the floors and as you increase the layer difficulty, you'll have more portals in each room, so more waves to fight off before you can continue onwards. There are 8 floors total for these runs, so they can take a bit of time, but it's actually an interesting way to play TORGHAST in my opinion. The monsters come to you rather than you working your way through a big sprawling layer. It's a nice change of pace, and it's going to be a lot of fun in a group. Patch 9.2 will also introduce a whole bunch of new mounts to collect, pets, titles, achievements, toys. There are even specific features like the Protoform Synthesis Forge that lets you create these collectibles in a very specific way, which is quite exciting. This is actually going to be a huge patch for collectors, so if you love picking up every new mount, pet, and toy there is, you're going to have a lot to do in 9.2. And as always with these major content releases, there are going to be lots of class changes and balance tuning, including for classes themselves, covenant abilities, legendary effects and gear, conduits and soulbinds, the whole shebang. A big balance pass to help even out the specializations in classes, and quite a few classes have seen some really big changes too, which is going to be really exciting. But that's all of the major features coming in patch 9.2. What do you think from what you've seen and heard so far? Are you super stoked to get back into Azeroth and explore the new zone of Zereth Mortis? Or are you maybe going to sit this one out? What are you most excited about and least excited about as we head into patch 9.2? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to everyone who subscribed on Twitch. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.